Hello, it's Hughes, Chief Leaderologist in Houston, Texas, with the Survivors with Voices monthly meeting. Look, life is a voluntary event. That's right, Live. We got to live. And how do you live? Well, first you got to make a decision to win. And today we're going to talk about why you should win. And we're going to talk about the 7 whys that you must ask yourself in order to stay focused.
You know you are free to live. However, live stands for life is a voluntary event. That means you got to actively participate. You can't have a self-defeating, self-destructive conversation talk with yourself. Look, before you think about quitting, if you got kids, remember, they are watching. I want you to think about something else. The dream is free. Everybody dreams, but guess what? The hustle is always sold separately. And I'm going to tell you, commitment is a direct reflection of your faith. What are you praying for? If you're praying for something, then there is no reason why you should be whining. I should charge $5 every time I hear somebody whining about something they done already prayed and believing in faith for. Look, I want you to be excited today. Look, I want to win. Look, if you want to win, then you got to have a winning attitude. You got to be happy about winning. Look, I want you to get excited today. Look, we used to say all the time, look, it's all good in the hood. That's right. Sometimes you got to speak back to yourself, because you know what? By you being here, by you listening to this video, yes, you are winning. Seriously, I find myself sometimes surrounded by what I call weak Christians, who are wounded not by other people's voices, but by their own whispers, their own talk. I mean, what a waste. 90% of Americans will talk themselves out of one major success at least one time in their lifetime. I mean, there are 3 altering opportunities during the course of a person's lifetime. That's what Forbes magazine says. But you know what? Most Americans will talk themselves out of at least one, if not all 3 of them, based not on the risk that they have, but what other people think. You know, that's a shame. I want to remind you of Nicodemus in the Bible. You know, he wasn't all the way in as far as believing that Jesus was the Messiah. But let's think about this. He met with Jesus at night. He called that an interview. Now at night he called that an interview. He did not want his boys, the Pharisees, and the family of the Jews to know he was being taught by Jesus. So he snuck out late at night and called it an interview, y'all. Come on now. He was fronting until finally he believed, because Jesus called him out. Now, if you can't believe in earthly things, you know, how are you going to believe in me? And I say that because you need to look at yourself in the mirror sometime. And I said this at a conference, and that's why I'm bringing up Nicodemus. You need to really take a good look at yourself. And in the mirror, you need to say, you can't stop me. You can't hurt me. You think I'm going to put up with this? And you need to think about Nicodemus, and you need to say, Nicodemus, please. That's what you need to say when the haters come to hate, when you hating on yourself. Let's say it together. You need to look in the mirror. You need to think about it. Everything that's going on. You need to say, Nicodemus, please. You got to remind yourself, effort is not between you and Lou. It's between you and you. I mean, why pout? Why sit up here and pout when you have the opportunity to pray? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Why worry when you already know your worth? But see, you got to get your head right. It's an attitude that has to take place. You know, how you represent yourself becomes your reality. Never let somebody else's voice control your vision. Never let other people validate your values with their own weak vocabulary. Your words, their words don't dictate your worth. But see, you got to take responsibility, and you got to be vocal about your attitude. You got to adore yourself. You have a vested interest in making yourself happy. I don't understand why people allow themselves to get upset by other people. Acknowledge and trust your own feelings. You know, it's funny. We let people's opinion about us go viral in our thought life. and allow them the opportunity to verify who we are. I mean, it's a domino effect. Somebody tell me, when did they decide my self-worth, your self-worth? Their beliefs don't limit my beliefs, and guess what? Their beliefs don't affect my behavior, and their behavior definitely is not going to affect my result. Don't let another person punk your praise. You know what time it is. What's the undertone when haters hate? Look, no commitment and you hating on yourself? You know what to say. Nicodemus, please. Yeah, I got an attitude today. Listen to me. A lot of people have comments, but few will commit. Effort is between you and you. I done told you that already. You got to know your worth. Look, it's time for an exercise before I get mad up in here. I want you to set the time if you're in this meeting. Take 10 minutes if you're just watching the video and respond to the following questions. Now consider who you were at different points in your life, such as, like when you're 8, 16, 25. Think about the date and time. Who were you then? Describe the differences between who you were and who you are becoming. How will this coming months, this year, transform your life? Then I want you to describe the you that has always been there. What is that person's vision of your life? How has she or he guiding you right now? Have you been listening? Have you been living on autopilot, just going through the motion? When was the last time you checked in with yourself? Think about what I'm saying. This is the exercise. Know your worth. Get an accountability partner if you need to. Sit by somebody, call somebody. But I want you to answer those 2 questions, and you have the other questions there if you want. Pause right now the video, stop in the meeting, and take 10 minutes to do number 1 and 2. And as a bonus, I've given you 3 through 8. Now, I hope you enjoy that exercise, but I want to get into something. I can't stand lazy people, and I don't like people waiting. Look, why wait when you have the opportunity to work? I want you to think about something. It is better to be a lion for at least one day than a sheep all your life. I mean, sometimes you gotta roar. But let me tell you something. Even the lion has to defend himself against the flies. He can't just sit there and be king of the jungle. Even the lion gets mad at the gnats that come at him every single day that pull on him. That's the people talking about you, saying bad things against you. Even the lion has to defend himself against the flies. But you know what? You have to make a decision to do something about it. And I can't stand lazy people. I want you to take a look at what I call some laziness in life. People just who refuse to go that extra mile to even be the average. Now, this is ridiculous. The person who was assigned a job to put the white lines to signify that you are on or off the road didn't even have time to move the roadkill. Come on, man. Nicodemus, please. The security guard. Don't you know that we know that that's a picture? He sleep behind a picture that he found in the rubble. And now that picture is standing where he should be standing on post security. Nicodemus, please. Come on, man. And why walk all the way to the trash can and don't put the trash in the trash can? You put it on top. That is a height of laziness. But not as lazy as this one. Rather than stand in the line, I'm just going to use my shoes as a place setting to stand in line for me. Look, my 8.5 is in 4th or 5th in line. Come on, guys. You know what we need to say. Some of y'all be doing this. But laziness? Nicodemus, please. Now let me ask you something. If you really know this, you really are believing faithful prayer, or you have seen things in the past and they're all right, why weep when you have a will? You have a will on your life. You can make a decision. You have the ability to do something about whatever is going on in your life. Why weep when you have a will? Are you weeping? Are you fearful instead of being fearless? Or are you thinking about fiction instead of the facts? Are you full of faith? Are you full of faith? Are you fixed where you're at? Are you moving forward? Or you see yourself as a foe? Or do you remember who you are because of the Father. Look, I ain't scared. That's what you should be telling yourself. I ain't scared. Let me tell you something. There is a report out there. It's called the Lancet Report. A lack of exercise has now caused as many deaths as smoking across the world. And the study suggests that people are being overweight and lazy because they want to. That's exerting their will to do absolutely nothing. And look, there's nothing wrong until God opens the door. You need to praise him in the hallway. But let me tell you something. That doesn't mean that I'm just sitting around waiting on the Lord. You know, I told a story, but I'm going to sum it up. There's a lot of times people say I'm waiting on the Lord, but the Lord is waiting on you. You got to still do some work. There's no reason to just sit around and weep. Look, crying only counters your creativity. It only cancels the commitment that you said you have. And really, there's a doctoral view of crying change your cardiovascular. I'm not going to go into details, but basically what that says, you can actually make yourself sick by sitting around crying all day. That's a shame to waste your life away because you will rather weep than exert your will to get out of your situation. Now, there are 4 reasons that people wait. I mean, these questions you gotta answer yourself. But there are excuses. I don't know how. That's just skill deficit. Look, you can learn how. I lack interest anymore in living my life. That's just because you're not focused on what you could be doing that's going to fulfill your life. And I don't feel like doing it. That's life. I don't feel like doing a lot of stuff every day either. Look, I don't necessarily want to read the Bible every single day, but I do it because it's a principle that I put in my mind to say I wanted to learn the Bible better. I don't care how I feel. Your feelings ain't got nothing to do with you making a better life for yourself. You have a will. And number 4, I can't make me do it. Yeah, you can make yourself do some things in life. You just choose not to. Your will. You have a will. Yes, God wants everybody to go to heaven, but will everybody go to heaven? No, because they will do bad things. They will become bad people because they choose to. Their will will themselves not to go to church every day and do the right thing, and they know that the right thing should be done. It's their will that will get them. You know, there's no excuse. You could take every day 15, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, do 2 or 3 things that are working on your goal. You know, why wait when you can schedule it right now? You have the ability to do it today. You don't have to wait till tomorrow. What would happen if you spent 5 days out of 7 days every week, 52 weeks out of a year, doing 2 to 3 things to work on your goal? What if you didn't even finish? I guarantee you, you'd probably be 90% there. 2 to 3 things, working on that business, that book, working on your kids, working on your relationship, working on yourself. I don't care what it is. 2 to 3 things a day. You can make it happen. But there's no excuse for weeping. You have every opportunity. Look, Medea would even join me right now. You know what she would be saying. She would join me. She would join me in saying this one thing. Look, why wait when you can work? Nicodemus, please. And I like this one because look, why whine when you can win? You know, we rolling through this thing. Why whine when you can win? Look, complaining, whining. Let's talk about venting and winning. Look, if you're complaining and whining, you need an audience. But if you winning, you know, it can be done alone. You know, I'm Muhammad Ali punches. I can do it by myself. Look, you got no clear goal when you complaining and whining. But guess what? When you venting and winning, you normally feel relieved. You know, you revived. And unfortunately, when you complain and whine, you had the same old conversation with yourself day in and day out. But guess what? When you venting or whining, and I want to tell you, sometimes you just have to talk to people. When I say venting, look, there are some people that encourage you. Look, you know what? Today is a good day. It could be better, but guess what? I'm working. I'm living an abundant life. You got to have a new conversation with yourself. And whining and complaining, all that, you just get addicted to it. You get addicted to other people that are whining and complaining. Y'all have a pity party. Y'all have your own frat club, sorority club. Look, I ain't got time for that. You know, if you decide you're going to win, you can stop cold turkey. You don't need anybody. You don't need any medication. You just make a decision, right? You decide to win. Look, if you whine, you worry, you wait, and you weep. If you're winning, you know your worth, you work, and you exert your will. I'm going to tell you, you can't beg average people to be phenomenal. You can't drag good people to greatness. If you're not where you want to be, it has nothing to do with the system that you're in, but it has everything to do with your sacrifice. Look, don't take your ideas of greatness to the graveyard. You've heard that so many times. When things don't go your way, what are the reasons that will keep you strong? Your pain is pressure you feel on your way to your prize. Don't you let pride paralyze, punk your potential by pimping your purpose. You know your purpose in life. But pride can postpone your pay. I promise you. Pride can postpone your prey. You don't have time to whine. You don't have time to wait and weep. You don't have time for that. Look, life is passing you by. And in the words of my friend, sometimes you got to get in the mirror and you got to think about whining is unacceptable and tell yourself, Nicodemus, please. Now I'm going to leave you with why we should live. Life is a voluntary event. And I want you to print this out. If you're looking at the video, there's a link for you to print it below the video. If you're at the meeting, print this out. Take this with you. I'm just going to say, I'm going to end this right here because I want you to read what I'm giving you. But you have to ask yourself, I can't do it. You have to ask yourself these questions. Are you worthy of change? Do you have a winning attitude? Are you willing to change? Do you have the willpower right now? Are you being wise about your time? Do you have the work ethics? You may have to develop a whole new set of work ethics. And then the last one. Do you have a why that's big enough, bold enough, strong enough to create such a change in you that you will never go back? The why, like you kids, I'm doing it for my kids. I'm doing it because I'm tired of living like this. I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of being poor. I'm tired of letting this person sit around here and talk about me and belittle me. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired. Nicodemus, please, I ain't gonna let this happen to me anymore. I'm better than that. And at the end of the day, you have to look at yourself in the mirror. And to be pushed to greatness, your why has got to be strong enough to not think about where you came from, but to push yourself for the prize from where you going. Look, this is Lou Hughes, Chief Leaderologist, signing off. Look, it's just a step away, and that step starts today. I'll see you next time. Take care. Lou Hughes, Chief Leaderologist, signing off. Y'all have a good day. Have a good meeting. Remember, effort is between you and you.